Pokemon is making its way on the channel as we take part in a new journey. Join us as we take on Fire Red. Now, here's how this campaign's gonna work. It's gonna be a lot like normal Let's Plays, but with a few twists. I have to battle every trainer. That includes gyms, hideouts, and routes. They can be in any order, and I can go to the Pokemon Center between battles. But if I ever white out, I have to reset my game to the last story-progressed Pokemon Center and try again. Every time I first heal out of Pokemon Center, that creates a checkpoint. I can't be more than 5 levels above the ace of the next gym, and if I lose to the Elite Four or the champion, that's the end of the run. Can I become the very best that Kanto's ever seen? Welcome to the GREEFLOCKE. Welcome back, everyone. Last time we were here, we washed up Blaine and traveled to Sevi Islands to help the people there. After returning to Cinnabar, I felt an urge I've never had before, and it's centered around 3 birds. We already managed to catch Zapdos at the power plant, and we stole the source of heat from Mount Enver being Moltres. You know, now that I think about it, catching Moltres on one island probably sabotaged the Sevi economy. I mean, the hot spring is just a spring now, and the trainers using it for muscle therapy will probably go somewhere else. I'd also imagine Moltres' intense heat probably had something to do with the always warm and sunny weather there, but not my problem. No, my problem is this newfound hunger for legendary bird. I heard tales of a frozen cave between Cinnabar and Fuchsia. Since I was already on the island, I took that path first and came to find out that this was like a straight guy's butthole. Exit only. I flew to Fuchsia and tried again from that approach. Successfully navigating to the northern cave, I battled the few remaining trainers on the route and entered. Not learning my lesson from Rock Tunnel, I'm bombarded by attacking wild Pokemon as I attempt to solve this icy strength puzzle. But for the sake of time, I'm gonna edit those out. There! Doesn't this look better? I stubbornly refuse to look up a walkthrough and spend an extra 15 minutes in here until I fall through a hole and Benya breaks our fall. We surf around and come across the majestic ice bird. I stand before it, shivering in its chilling presence, and with a loud call, Articuno attacks. I forgot to remove Benny from the lead and managed to hit an ugly Giga Drain as it sets up agility. I switch to Jake as it hits another agility. Jake isn't built physically, so I spam Brick Break, chipping down its health, and eventually Jake falls to 3 Ice Beams. I then send out Drax to use Strength. I forgot about his ability, and 1 poison will be bad. Thankfully, Drax gets it down to red health without poisoning it, and I switch it to Benya to put it to sleep. I throw 3 Ultra Balls and add Elsa to the dex. Satiating my need for legendary birds, I quickly left with my prize and flew to Viridian City to heal up before taking on the final gym. Along the way, I ran into the old mine that gave me a lousy TV, and I told him what I really thought about it, and then I made my way inside of Viridian Gym. Not much is known about the gym leader here, but the puzzle looks familiar. It's been so long since I've done this gym that stumbling through it and battling trainers looks more intentional than it should. These trainers seem to have ground types. Luckily, I have a Benya and spam a combination of Surf and Water Pulse, making these battles relatively easy. By the way, the level cap for this gym is 55, his ace is 50, and most of my team isn't even level 50 yet, so I'm definitely not over leveled for the gym, but all these trainers before the leaders stand no chance. I may have to find a ROM to up the difficulty in the future, but for now we'll finish up the trainers and heal up one more time before challenging the leader. I round a corner and to my shock the final gym leader is Giovanni? Ha! If this is anything like last time, this should be easy. I lead with Benny as he sends out Rhyhorn. I connect with Giga Drain and Oko. Next is his queen, and I stay in with Benny, and 1 Psychic takes it out. The king is next, thrashing out, while I hit with a Psychic, reuniting it with its love. He then sends out Doug Trio, so I switch into Benya and surf it out of the battle. He sends out another Rhyhorn, and it goes down just like its brother. With that, Giovanni is defeated, and we obtain the Earth Badge, completing the set. We also receive TM26 that I immediately teach to Drax, and 5 grand! Giovanni is humbled in his final defeat. Now that we had all 8 badges, the only thing on my mind was getting to Indigo Plateau as quickly as possible. I heal up and cheerfully head towards Victory Road. Nearly oblivious to my surroundings, I hear my name called out and look up to see Algo. As always, he has to gloat and insult me before declaring to whip me as a warm-up. Some people never learn. He leads with Pidgeot as Watts leads my team. It feather dances and I use Shockwave. It quick attacks and another Shockwave takes it out. He then sends out Growlithe, so I switch to Drax and try out my new move. Next up is Alakazam. I send out Benny and eat a Psychic as I miss Egg Bomb. I go for it again, connecting, and it misses Disable. I then thief the rest of its health. Next is Blastoise, and it bites me as I Giga Drain it. I switch to Watts, eating a bite and a Water Gun before taking it out with a Shockwave. Next is Rhyhorn, so I switch to Benya and surf it down just like Giovanni's. Last is his Execute, so I switch to Jake and fry those eggs over hard. Algo, once again, is defeated, and like all trash trainers, he makes up an excuse and projects his problems onto me. He runs away nearly in tears as I try to hold back a smile. Man, I hope I don't see that kid again. After that battle, I heal up and head back to Victory Road. I don't know if this is Victory Road or Oppression Road, cause I'm stopped like 8 times and asked for my papers, but I don't really want to start anything, so I keep my mouth shut and comply until I finally make it to the entrance of the tunnel. This is no doubt the riskiest part of this whole playthrough outside of the Elite Four and the Champion. This is the final area before the end, so the Pokemon and the trainers have to show that. The wild encounters are all in the mid-40s, and the trainers all have hard-hitting, relatively annoying Pokemon. If I white out here, I'll be taken all the way back to when we first healed up at Sevi Island. So, like the coward I am, I run from any encounter that may pop up and take my time and try to play smart against these trainers. We haven't been reset yet, and we're so close to the end. Thankfully, after battling my way through, we make it to the Indigo Plateau. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna have to heal up and do a little bit of grinding before we take on the Elite Four, so the next time you see me, everyone will be ready to go. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. We now have a Dragonite.